Hey guys, it's Steven with Agrestic. It's been a while since I've checked in, so I wanted to give a quick update on kind of the cattle markets. We're looking at the GF2 here on TradingView, and this is really a continuous contract. It's showing the May contract at this point in time, but got some interesting things going on. Hence the reason I wanted to really give an update. You can see we had this big jump right here, and really that's a roll um, from the last contract to the new contract. So we would have went from April at this point in time to now May, and that's where you get this little jump here. So if that looks a little bit awkward, that's really the reason for it. We'll jump into another chart here in just a few minutes, but one thing that stands out in my mind here on this specific chart pattern is that we have a couple things plotted. We have a slow stochastic down here. We have a Williams per cent R, and we have a 2-day RSI. I like to use the 2-day RSI as just a quick gauge of momentum, and we're getting up there. We're starting to get up into the 90s, which is pretty well oversold. So we could look to see a little bit of a pullback today. Now, what's really specifically interesting on this chart is that we have what's called a pin bar. So we're looking at some candlesticks here, and a pin bar is just really some terminology for a point in time whenever the sellers come in there, they sell the market down, and then there's a little bit of a rejection, then they push it back up. So the market actually opened up here at the very bottom of this bar. It's sold off, and that's what you see with this little matchstick tail. And then they pushed it back higher, so we ended up closing up here about 159.90. And the premise behind this is that, look, that's usually indicative of a reversal. So you can read all kinds of things on pin bars, and they'll tell you this or that. But I like what I see right here because we get this little pin bar where they try to push it down, couldn't capture any momentum, and then they pushed it back up to the top. And then the next day, yesterday, we got a little bit more positive momentum as well. Getting some momentum out of the stochastics here, and then again this RSI, and then today, we almost got a bearish pin bar, and yeah, you can have a bullish pin bar, which would be this one here in the green, and you could also have a bearish one, and this looks to be almost like a bearish pin bar. It's not quite. There's probably another terminology for this, but the fact of the matter is we've closed above this red average, which is a 9-day moving average, and we've closed above the 18-day moving average now. So this turquoise line here is the 18-day moving average. This red one's the 9-day moving average, and then the dotted red one is the 9-week moving average, and then the dotted turquoise one's a 18-week moving average. We haven't quite got above those yet, but we are getting back above these averages, which is somewhat supportive to this market. You're looking at the fundamentals. The fundamentals are shaping up nicely as well. We're getting some higher cash bids out of the live cattle market. I believe they bid them up a little bit, $2 higher just yesterday. Starting to see a pickup in really the amount of cattle slaughtered. So certainly supportive to the feeder cattle market. I guess all in all, what I'm saying is I think we're going to potentially have a little bit of momentum built in here. Looking to get a run. Now you're seeing some triangles here that are built into this chart. This is an indicator that I developed specifically designed to help purchase livestock risk protection or livestock gross margin insurance. And I've talked about this many times on my website. And certainly go check out my website and get more background information on this. But what's flashed here just specifically in the last 2 days is by policy RSI, and that happens whenever we get to be underneath these moving averages, and then we get some upward momentum. So you can see that we've still got kind of a bearish slant to this market here. We're sloping down until we get above, if I was to draw a trend line from here to here, until we get above that trend line. Whenever we get these signals here, it's certainly a good time to potentially lock in some coverage. If you're naked, meaning you don't have any coverage already established. So if you're in the market to get some LRP, you're really not sure, the direction of the market. You feel like you're net profitable at this point, it might be a good idea to go in there and go ahead and buy that coverage. These signals are pretty good about getting you in at some of these high points, so you can see where we got in here and then it sold off a little bit. Now it ended up creeping back up, but you can see that these signals have historically done a pretty good job of actually getting you in a little bit higher. So you're not just out there guessing, hey, this market's, I feel like, it's in a good spot, and then you ended up buying LRP down here. So like if I look at the low right here, that's 159, the close was 160.50. But if I would have waited till I got a signal, now I got in and it closed at 163.75. So I actually picked up almost $3 a hundredweight there, just going off this signal, which, I mean, a lot of times your premium just for LRP could be, more than $3 a hundredweight. So you're at least saving yourselves $300 a hundredweight for that matter. So pretty good way to look at it. Just, utilizing this signal to potentially get into the LRP. Again, longer term, I feel like we have some legs to this, we got some momentum here. And if we can get above these weekly moving averages, I really feel strongly that we're going to move substantially higher in this market. So let's take a quick look at live cattle here. We don't necessarily have a pin bar in the live cattle market, but again, we do have some strong fundamentals going on within the cattle industry, right? Again, they're pushing the bids higher. We're getting a pickup in slaughter. It's kind of that seasonal demand, right? You're getting into Easter and to May, where everybody wants that springtime grilling. So you're getting a little bit of a better demand. The corn market's stalled out a little bit, so we're seeing it not necessarily softening up, but it's not just flying through the roof again, which is supportive to the cattle market as well. So no pin bars here necessarily, but we are getting above those moving averages. We just touched the 9-week moving average here. If we can get a close above that, certainly feel strong that we're going to keep moving higher as well in live cattle. Again, the RSI here is at 94, so it is a little bit overbought, so the potential for it to sell off a day is there. So expect to pull back, maybe in the next day or two. But you can see the stochastics are marching higher, and even the Williams percent R, is about to break over the 20, the minus 20 mark, which is kind of the overbought mark as well. I like to see this Williams percent R get above 20 and then just ride this thing out. So if it gets above 20 and stays, just keep riding it out, and then once it dips back below that minus 20, that's usually a pretty good indication to get in to your LRP or your LGM. So again, cattle market's looking great. I'll touch real fast on the hogs. Not seeing a whole lot in hogs as well. I mean, we've been on a heck of a run here in the hog market, and just kind of now starting to bounce sideways a little bit. So got some support there where we bounced off now the 9-week moving average. We've traded through it a little bit, but it's really stalled out there, right? So we got a little bit of support built in here at 107 on this the May contract, and it looks like we're going to climb back above these averages. Had a pretty good day yesterday, and we got an inside bar developing today. So there's a good chance that we'll continue to march higher as well in the hog market. So just wanted to give that quick update. Appreciate anybody that's been following me on Twitter, and then again on YouTube. Head over to my website, agresticresearch.com. Check out my seasonal patterns to get a little bit better take on exactly how you can match up seasonal patterns with the buying and selling of your livestock risk protection or your livestock gross margin products. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.